Hey class, welcome back to Chapter 10 Statistics. Today we'll be looking at Exercise 10E, Scatterplots and bivariate data. So we'll start with the definition of bivariate data. Bi means two and variate variables. So bivariate data has two variables, unlike univariate data, which is what we've been looking at previously in our box plots and our 5-number summaries, etc. Okay, and so we will display bivariate data on a scatter plot. Scatterplots are then described by their correlation, okay, so whether there is a relationship between those two variables, okay, and we talk about the correlation in terms of strength. So is there no correlation? Is it weakly correlated, moderately correlated, or strongly correlated? And the direction, so is that positive or negative? This describes how one variable, the dependent variable, behaves as another variable increases the independent variable. So as we change one variable, what happens to the other? We're going to describe the trend shown in the data by first drawing a scatter plot. Now in your books you would identify the lowest x value, which in here is 1, and the largest, which is 15. And in the y-axis it would be 1 to 11. 13. So you would make sure that your axes each go as far as those maximum numbers. Okay. Instead of you sitting through the next 2 minutes me trying to draw this out neatly and failing, here's one I prepared earlier. So the scatter plots can also be constructed using technology. They'll be a lot more accurate and a lot quicker to produce, of course. Also note that all of this data is all over the place. There's no easy way to spot the trend until we visualize it as our scatter plot. Now, when we look at correlation, okay, no correlation just looks like a bunch of random dots anyway. Okay, so that would be no correlation, which I'll shorthand to core. Okay, a weak correlation would look a little bit more like, okay, there's a bit of an obvious trend, but they're kind of still all over the place. So we can kind of tell that it's moving in an upwards direction here, but they're quite spread apart. Whereas here we've got dots all over the place. In a moderate correlation, okay, in a moderate correlation, they're a little bit more closer together and it's a little more obvious in which direction they're going. Okay, so here it's still positive, and a strong correlation would be very tight, almost forming a line. Okay, and here we've got a strong negative correlation just to mix it up. Okay, and this one's negative, whereas the rest here, these two are positive. So in this particular scatter plot, we have what I would describe as a moderate. So if I was to sort of draw a line straight through the middle as well, they're not all super close to the line. Okay, so I would say that I have a moderate, positive, because it's moving in a positive direction, correlation. And that's literally all there is to today's lesson. Okay, so plot your data. Okay, identifying the direction of the data of the trend will be the easiest. Okay, is it moving upwards? So positive, is it moving downwards? It's negative. And then all you really need to do, if it helps, to draw a line straight through the middle as well to sort of see how things fit in around that line. You are also welcome to do that. Moderate to strong would be fine for this one. I personally would go with moderate, but some of you may interpret that as strong, and that's okay as well. I would not say that this was a weak correlation though. And that's all you really need to do to describe scatterplots and bivariate data. So plot the data. That will take a little bit of time, and then describe the data in terms of its strength and direction. And that's all there is to it today. As always, guys, if you have any questions, let me know. But otherwise, good luck with the work, and I'll speak to you all very soon.